It says ready to go live, question mark. So are there four different ones? Oh, there now. They gave me. All right, guys, we're going live. Lucasfilm panel is happening right now. Share, make sure, if anybody collects, share that around. I'm going to show you all of the stuff. So, go start. No. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm a huge fan, man. But a boxer. Show him. Show him. Show him. It's like it's like I met him at Congress and I just looked at him. Well, I think it's like, I just gave it to you. Yeah, it's like, why is there a Hey guys, I'm behind the camera, so I'm gonna try to pan over as soon as like the other speakers. I don't want to miss out on the slideshows, so I might not pan too much. All right, guys. Let me know if the audio's good. Let me know if anything, but I'm probably just gonna leave this as is. Can everybody hear perfectly? Let me know, and we're gonna get started pretty soon now. Audio is great. Awesome.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sideshow Collectibles panel. I know the room's still filled up, but this year, I guess what I'd really like to talk about is real connection. I usually just start by saying I hate calling this stuff product because it's not a product. It's what connects us to the story and what we love about Star Wars. The story, the characters, the whole thing. And what I hope that you guys see today is just how far the people who make this stuff are willing to go to make sure that it's right and that you get it in a way that connects you to this story in the way that you want. But before we go any further, what I would like to do is, by show of hands, we're all familiar with Leia Bounty Hunter, and I'm trying to start a new controversy is on code blue or brown. Well, is it Boosh or Vouch? Because there is a right answer to this question. So, by show of hands, who thinks it's Boosh? By show of hands, who thinks it's Vouch? Okay, well, if we don't run out of time, you'll find the. Okay, and what I'd like to do is start with a first timer, Anthony Adams from PCS, who's brand new to the panel. Anthony, what I'd really like to know is, what does Star Wars mean to you? It's good.
There we go. So for me, this is going to sound a little weird, and I'll talk about it a little bit. I would say life and consistency. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, make it sound lie to you, and say that it's a way of life for me, to where I can answer any question Star Wars related, and I know everything and seen everything. No, but I can look through my life, and from childhood to today, Star Wars has always been there. So I'm an 80s baby, grew up watching the originals, and I had all the toys back in the day. Had X-Wings hanging from my ceiling. I still remember my R2-D2 toy box that my parents gave away. I'm still upset about that. And all my action figures I had back then. And then I started moving through like middle of my life when I first had my kids, and I tried to get them into watching NFL football with me. And we were putting together Legos, Star Wars ships. That was a way for us to connect as a family growing up. So I was like, Star Wars is still there with me. And then as I continued to get older and continue to collect, I'm a collector as well. I'm collecting everything from master replicas, ships, and sabers to Sideshow and EFX stuff and Iron Studio stuff. You got to make it hard for me to keep my money. But it's through my whole life I see this. So it's that consistency in life for me that I see it all the way through. And then even with the characters throughout Star Wars, it's not, for me, it's not, here's a good example. It's not Ray Park playing Darth Maul. It is Darth Maul. I don't see it as a character as you would like when Ray Park is playing Toad for X-Men, for example. And we kind of bring that same mentality into collectibles where that's what we're creating. And then also the consistency within the story itself. Vader is Vader is Vader, right? First, you don't have a Vader 2099 or Scarlet Vader, right? Different universe versions of Vader. His story is linear no matter when it started.
So you also, you have some passion about Star Wars, and I assume you have passion about your own company. Care to introduce PCS to design folks?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm one of the rare people that's right left brain. So very analytical, accounting degree, but I used to draw, paint, and sculpt on the side. I was the first person to graduate college in my family. I knew if I failed or didn't have a job, I didn't have something to fall back on. But I've always wanted to do my art. So as soon as I graduated college, I actually started a video game company, and I was going to start making video games. I pitched it to a couple of publishers, EA and Rockstar Games, but at that time, this was right after September 11th, they wanted a playable demo. I was a broke college student or coming out of college, so I didn't have the $1 million+ to make it. So I ended up going into banking for 21 years. 7 years ago, I actually bought PCS. And I started doing both jobs at the same time. I followed the industry for probably like 15 years, especially a Sideshow. And at that time, I never bought anything. I was always like, well, when I retire, I'll just split it myself and I'll have it then. But then I ended up buying my first pieces, and I was like, this is really cool. I think that this is something that I want to do. And I ended up buying PCS and making it is what it is today. And for me, it allows me to be creative. I get to use both sides of my brain, running the business, but then I'm also a creative director and get to choose licenses, characters, the style that we do, and all that good stuff. So for me, it's a release. And if I could do the William Wallace voice, I would say freedom. Because I left banking last year, and I'm just doing PCS full time now. So it's a whole lot of fun. And being a collector, that freedom comes into play with I'm choosing what I collect, what I like. So whenever I make a decision on what we're going to do, the style, it's what I collect at. Do I want that? And I put that up in my house. And if the answer is no, then we're not going to make it. And that's kind of how we kind of run the business. Because everybody on my team, we're all collectors. Another.
Yeah, so do you, well, it's a trick question. Remember who you're talking to, remember. Do you see, PCS does have other licenses. Do you see a difference between other licensees in what the license demands and what the fans are looking for between Star Wars and anything else?
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest difference, and then especially I'm new, so I'm really newbie. It's the access and accuracy with Star Wars. And what I mean by that is we have a lot of licenses that we've done. We've done likeness of characters, and we've even done NBA, WWE, etc. But with Star Wars, it's getting that access that gets the details right in our art. And I don't really even collect, consider our stuff collectibles, I consider it more art. And we try to find that fine line of kind of accuracy, film accuracy, but still having an artistic flair in it. We want it to be very visibly appealing. We want you to walk by it every day, find something new. I'll actually show you guys a new line that we started that we'll be doing with Star Wars as well. It's kind of a long build ground. It's a little bit different with collectible space. But it's really getting that access to get everything right. We did a third scale Darth Maul and being able to show or see the different textures to get everything right, right? So getting access to props, to getting the access to see what the different layers are within Maul, for example, to make sure that we get that right from a flow perspective, texture perspective, material perspective. And just trying to make the best that we can make. Because again, it's if I don't like the way it turns out, I mean, I don't want to collect it. We're not going to make it, produce it, or we're going to start from
Well,
scratch.
it's not gonna get approved.
Yes, that's it. That too. So,
All right, do you wanna talk through your slides, or you want me to ask questions?
I could talk to him when he's asked questions as well. So I'm a newbie, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of slides. Just starting. We actually have a booth, 1835. You can come see our third scale Darth Maul. This is actually the first third scale line for Star Wars. And what we're doing with this line, which is really special, is we're doing swap out torsos for it, so you can actually have a third scale statue, but then also a basically a third scale torso that you can put somewhere else, like on your desk or at work or whatever. So it's the platinum version is only available on our website. Again, you get two different versions. Or swap out torso, sorry. For the torso stand, we actually use the saber hilt for it. Sabers light up, the base lights up, et cetera. And we plan on doing this similar style for the rest of the line. So this would be a full line. As you can see on the base, this is something that we did, and this is kind of the artistic flair that I'm talking about. We did a diorama base or scenes around the base, but we did them in like a forced perspective. So you kind of get that depth. And we try to pick really, really famous scenes from here, from Phantom Menace. It was funny when we were art directing this, we actually had to talk with our sculptor and actually draw. It was almost like going back to art class. Like, this is how forced perspective works. You make your dot, find your horizon, draw your lines up, and everything needs to work its way to that horizon to get smaller as you get closer. So a lot of these are like little mini figs within the case. So they turned out pretty cool. So this is something I would do, I should say.
Want to talk about the next one?
Yes. So this is unique. This is something that we actually started it last year with Marvel, and it's a fine art bust. So basically what we're doing is life-size heads. So in this case, Vader, and we're doing full 360 diorama scenes all the way around the bust. So we've done our first one. We did a Maximum Carnage that was based on the Maximum Carnage storyline from Marvel, and it has like 12 characters going all the way around it. If you guys stop by the booth, you'll see the style because we have the bronze version, real bronze version of Maximum Carnage there. We have a Gladiator Hulk version as well, just so you can see how this is going to turn out. We actually wanted to get this here for San Diego, but accuracy slowed us down. We wanted to make sure we got everything just right to be on point. And this is just a front, so you can see the different scenes for Vader around. And you got your I Am Your Father, you got the fight scene in the front, and then you got Vader kneeling down on the left side. But then when you turn it around on the back side, this is just the concept. The next slide, I think I put. Oh, I hit the backside. That's right. But anyways, the backside has him throwing the Emperor. We have this nice little lightning effect, and I'll give you guys a little sneak of what we're trying to do. The big helmet, we want to see if we get like a lightning kind of skull effect underneath, just shine through. So that's something that we're playing with within development as well. These are just some of the 3D sculpts, so you can kind of see the progress as we're making it through. But it's got a less PCS.
And we do have a giveaway. The giveaway is
I'm gonna give away a dark. So it's not out yet. It'll come out the first half of next year. So, but we're gonna get your shipping address and everything, free shipping. We'll send it out to you. But yeah, we're gonna give out the platinum version. The kicker with the platinum version, you actually get a one. I think we did 200 ES on this. 1 in 200 chance of winning a real platinum coin.
right. So Lawrence has pre-picked a lucky winner. Hopefully the seat is full. In order to win, you just have to give your name and your shipping address, and Anthony will send you one when we have production. That was fine. So fill that out, bring it back up. If you don't have a pen, we can manage it. Okay. You think of everything. Next we have Gaming Art from Iron Studio. And Iron Studio is actually located in Brazil. They have a very unique perspective on Star Wars. Gabriel, can you tell me a little bit about what Star Wars means to you?
Guys, it's a pleasure to be here with you again, sharing these guys. They're very important for us and the company. Thank you, Brian, again. The history of the franchise in Brazil started only later, 1978. So we have 1 year delay. And this is a pictures from the cinemas in São Paulo, Cinema Brás. We used to translate all the movies, so it's Guerra nas Estrelas. So I'm bringing here some curiosities. For us, it's very important since young, me and Hannah, we always came here to the United States and go to the parks. And we, as I said last year, we used to spend our money, all of our money that we used to buy food, buying Star Wars collectibles. And that for us is fine. So yes, this is the first curiosity that I would like to bring to you. We just had, can you put back, Brian, please?
What's that? Sure.
Yes, and the collectibles, we just received it and we just got the collectibles 10 years after. So when Anthony was collecting, we were waiting. So we just got this 10 years later. And this is actually that bird game there. It released in 1978. It was the first collectibles in Brazil. Escape from Death Star, which means Escapando da Estrela da Morte, released by a company that don't exist anymore in Brazil called Estrela. And the toys, as I said, in 1998 by Glaslit, a very important company in Brazil for us, for bringing all the Star Wars toys. So that's the first action figure that was released in Brazil, Darth Vader. Okay, so that's me and Hannah. As you see, Hannah liked to touch everything, so it was the security problem, guys. Yes, that's us. Every time we see everything, we was touching and taking pictures, even in the Star Wars logo. It means a lot for us, for you maybe not too much, but for us from Brazil, it was very, very nice to have those pictures.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us a little? I know you have a lot of passion for what you do, and I know sometimes you'll show me something and you'll say, "Oh yeah, we like this, but we're still going to change this, and we fix. I'm not happy with it." So, are there some recent projects that you're particularly passionate or happy about?
Yes, Brian, it's difficult to say about that because all the projects is very important for us, especially for Star Wars. But we have recently a very funny thing that happened in Brazil. In Brazil, there is the CCXP Comic Con experience there for, I think it's 10 years, 11 years. And we invited Anthony Daniels for some panels there. And we were making this statue, 1.10, and our 2D2 and C3PO. And I was walking around the Comic Con experience, then Henan called me and he said, Gabriel, come here right now. And I said, no, man, I have a lot of things to do right now. He said, come here. Then I was there, and Anthony was there with his wife. He was looking at our booth. He was very impressed with this statue. So we were talking with Anthony, and he liked it a lot. He was asking us a lot of things, how we did it, how we painted, the material. He's a very, very nice guy. And we came up with idea, actually, and Henna came in with this idea that make a special version with his signature. So we are going to make this happen with Brian, a special version of this 1.10 statue with Anthony Daniel's signature. We have all the plates signed.
Awesome. So are you announcing that today? Is that, or I can't remember. I don't know if you've announced that before.
No, that's the first time. Yeah, very quickly and the Comic Con experience, but that's the first time that we're talking. And we're very excited. We're just deciding some details about this statue, but as soon as possible, we're going to give you more details. So if you follow us, you'll know about that. Okay?
So I go about there.
And that's our new challenge. Really is the dioramas. We really like to visualize all the battle, all the scenes. So the strong 0.20 scale, it will not be so huge. So yeah, this is the end of battle. You have the Ewoks and Chewie, and it's funny because I saw and I say, where is Wookiee? Where is Wicket? I'm sorry, and of course he's inside the VST at the time. So yeah, we're going to release him as soon as possible. Actually, we're just painting that right now. We could not bring it, the prototype here at our booth, but you will see it soon. Yes, and that's our giveaway. That 1.10 Vader, we made it in the past in 1.4 scale, so we reduce it. And that's our exclusively in our booth. So if anyone is interested in this piece, you can check it in our booth 1815.
And now it's time for Lawrence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
So actually, this year we have 3 first-timers on the panel, and now for our second first-timer. The company is not a first-timer, but Jesse certainly is.
Might be here to be a first panel.
Okay, so in talking with you, you have some really unique experiences. But before we get to some of those, I hear you're a collector.
I'm a little one.
And how did that get started?
Competition with a cousin was pretty much it. So I was born in the '70s, so those movies came out right where he was. My youth, impacted me, right? Like it did to everybody here. Those movies were amazing, and my cousin would always get those Hasbro figures, or not Hasbro, the ones. Sorry, they wouldn't have been. And he would always get them before me, and I'd always go to his house, play with them. And every time I would get one, I would want to go and show off and be like, "Hey, look what I got!" But he would always not be have it before me. So years this was going on. So finally, IG-88 comes out, hot off the presses, and I'm going to his house. I'm like, this is it, I got him now. I'm going to show him up. So I take my brand new IG-88 to my cousin's house to be gloating and showing him off. And he goes, "Oh yeah, here's mine." So I was like, all right. So we started playing and we doing our thing. And when it was time to leave, we have to like split up our figures and do our thing. So what happened was he tried to give me the Hucklebuck and give me his old ratty IG-88, loose joints, paint rubbed off, and he's trying to take my brand new one. So we got into fisticuffs. And ever since then, my aunt and my mom would take a sewing needle, heat it up, and scribe on the bottom of their legs, or the bottom of their feet, a J or an S, to make sure that we never go to blows again.
Okay, so you have some other unique experiences. Care to tell us what's going on in this slide?
Well, that one there, that's it's me pulling off a 3D print, and I think they're doing a stormtrooper costume too. So because of the competition with my cousin, it was always one epic, whether it was figures, and it turned into costumes, and it turned into, for me, jobs. I really loved that movie and watching the making of and all of those things that you were doing, or all the props you were making and costumes. I wanted to do that. That's what I wanted to do. And luckily enough, I ended up working for Rick Baker, who actually worked on Star Wars, the original. One of my jobs was to go through his mold room and organize everything chronologically. So when I got to Star Wars, I'm looking at this stuff firsthand, I think I'm 20, 21 or something. And it's like, oh, I'm so beating my cousin right now. And oddly enough, that's where I met our creative director, Tom Gilland, and that's eventually how I got to Sideshow.
Oh, yeah, so that's.
So yeah, that's so one of the things to do at Rick's, they would always I would be a guinea pig for makeups and effects to see how they would work out. And the one there where I'm getting doused with water was for the Clooney Batman, Batman and Robin. So remember they were freezing everybody, there was all this freeze. So they're like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to build these? So a couple of guys literally dressed me up. They coiffed my hair with things with crazy super industrial hairspray, and everything is on a wire, pulling me this way and that way, and they got all these rigs here. And then they proceeded to throw buckets of water at me and just take snaps to see how that would work out. So, and one of, oh yeah, I'm going first.
So before, yeah, I definitely missed one. So let's go to product. So why don't you tell us a little about Mr. Kenobi?
Yeah, that's our Mythos Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is based off of a statue we did some years back, and we got a lot of good response to it. And we went to the next version, which was the 6 scale. So the next logical evolution was to do the 3 scale.
Yeah, who's seen the old Mythos? Who's ever tried to get one? Who still doesn't have one? Unfortunately, we won't be giving one away.
But this one's coming up, so you can get it.
But this one is coming up, so there you go.
No, this is cool because this is like if you're not familiar with it, it was kind of our take of maybe what was happening between movies that didn't necessarily you didn't necessarily see. So that's where we came up with these ideas of him wandering the desert with his all his goods and wares, and click and clack and sabers.
That Mythos is all about off-screen moments, but you also do on-screen moments.
Yes, we do. We've done a few. So this is one we're working on. It's a quarter scale Luke, and I don't know if you can see there's part of an X-wing floating, and that's going to be quarter scale. I think we showed the concept last year, and this is the first view of it where we did some 3D outputs. It's got the cut and sew on it. As you can see, that there's some challenges with this one because that X-wing is, maybe about that big, and it's floating from him. So it's kind of fits within our quarter scale line and within that kind of real world vibe.
So is Cad Bane anybody else's favorite Star Wars villain? Okay, there you go. He's one of my favorite Star Wars villains for sure. I think he's one of the scariest. For me. So let's move on. It's Lawrence time. So, what are you giving away here?
I'm giving away a little Grogu.
Lifestyle. Okay, now it's time for Evan. Hello, Evan.
Hello, Brian.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
And what does Star Wars mean to you, Evan?
So, I've had a little time to think about it as I'm fourth on this panel, and as I think about it, there's probably few things that have had as profound of an impact, both directly and indirectly, as Star Wars. I distinctly remember the first time I saw A New Hope. I was around 6 years old. I was excited about watching it because it was one of my dad's favorite movies, and I was going to be able to watch it. And it frankly blew my mind because as a 6-year-old, I went from, cartoons and Sesame Street to A New Hope. And it was just, mind-boggling for me. As I was growing up, and it was always part of my life, it was, something that was important to me. I wore out my 3-pack of VHSs. And then, as I got to high school, the prequel trilogy came out. And it allowed me to sort of share and expand upon Star Wars with my friends. I remember going to midnight showings, and it just became something that was part of me. It also really is between that and probably another movie I was into at the time, was what brought me to the San Diego Comic-Con for the first time in 2003. And I've been coming with my dad, almost every year since, with a couple of gaps in there. And there was this company, Master Replicas. I don't know if anyone here has ever heard of it. It blew my mind because, I always knew, what a lightsaber looked like and should feel like, but that allowed me the opportunity to hold a lightsaber, to buy a lightsaber, to have one on my shelf. And I then began collecting that. I became friends with a lot of people that worked with Master Replicas. One of them was Brian Ono. Remained friends for years, called each other, emailed each other. Brian started the company EFX, and it went into business in Star Wars prop replicas on January 1st, 2009. And, just talking with Brian and spending time with him over the years, it further solidified my love for Star Wars. Unfortunately, Brian untimely passed away just about 2 years ago, right after Comic-Con 2022. And that has given me the opportunity to have a more active role with EFX and to carry on his legacy. Because anyone that's in here that knew Brian, knew that, truly Star Wars was Brian's personality. And, now that I'm part of the company, I think about that and carrying on his legacy and his attention to detail every day. I think about it when I go to Lucasfilm headquarters to touch the props, the actual 3D ones, to scan them, to photograph them, and to color match them. So I don't think 6-year-old me realized what a profound effect it would have on my life, but it certainly does.
Yep. So, hurrah for carrying on the legacy, a legacy of that accuracy, that authenticity, that a delivery of an experience that few other companies can actually can actually deliver on. One of the things that I really wanted to ask you though, a bit of a tough question. So EFX has changed a little bit though over the course of the past couple of years and delivery time and actually making improvements. So I think, care to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so that's something that's very important to us as a company. We know that when our fans see something and they want something, they don't want to wait, 12 months or more sometimes. It's something that historically we could have done a lot better on as far as delivery times. And we're making a true point of going forward from really last year onward of shortening those times drastically. We don't put an item up for pre-sale. We don't show an item at our booth until we're really into the pre-production process. That includes having the tooling ready, and we're just much further along than we have been in the past. Our goal is to have, somewhere between 2 and 5 months from the time that we announce a product and put it up for pre-sale that it's going to be in your hands. The Dark Saber, I think, would be an example of that. We put that, 3 versions of it actually on sale in March. It shipped in June. So we're trying our best. Look, life happens, things get delayed, but we're going to want those delays to be few and far between, and it's our commitment to you guys, the collectors.
Okay, let's get into some pretty pictures, shall we?
All right. So this is the snow speeder, and we did our slides a little bit differently this year. The left is our prototype. But on the right, I wanted to show everyone kind of what goes into this a little bit more. Those are what the unpainted parts look like. Those are what, sort of pre-production pieces are. And this was actually the crew gift on Empire Strikes Back. It's a mini snow speeder. The plaque that it's going to be on, where it will connect with the magnet, is identical to the plaque stand that those that worked on Empire Strikes Back had. And we're very excited about this product. There's going to be 2 versions of it. There's going to be a regular version, and we're also offering it as a signature series option with Joe Johnson's signature.
Oh, that's new.
Absolutely.
Okay, I approve.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 minutes.
All right. This is also, at our booth. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi Phantom Menace lightsaber. This is going to be a Legend Edition. For those of you who don't know, Legend Edition means as accurate to the screen-used version as possible. The majority of this will be machined aluminum. The tube that goes down the middle is stainless steel. But what you will see is that all of the weathering on this version of it, every bend, every nick, is going to be identical to the one that's in the Lucasfilm archive. And we were able to do that by, if you actually see below, that's a scan of the one that we took at the Lucasfilm archive, albeit a very rough scan, but everything that we do has that level of authenticity. We scan it, we match the colors, we match the paint, we weigh it, we measure it, so that you can know when you have an EFX product, it's what you saw on screen.
Oh, another ATST.
This is an ATST from the Return of the Jedi. Again, we have the scan on the right. We obtained this at the Lucasfilm archive on a research trip. The left one is our paint master, which is on display at our booth. We're at booth 4237. And what's kind of interesting about this is the base that we're going to offer. We're not sure if this is going to be the base for all of them or an optional base, but that wooden base that you see in the picture is identical to the wooden base that the ATST from Return of the Jedi is on at the Lucasfilm archive. So we think this is just a really cool thing and something different that we've never done before.
Q4, I can't wait.
Well, this is new.
Oh, this is new? What is this?
Anyone know what this is?
Wow.
Anyone excited about this?
Yeah.
So this is the first time that we've shown this or announced it or described it. It's something we've been working very hard on. What you're seeing before you is a scan of the TIE Interceptor. It's going to be a 1-to-1 studio scale. That's
A scan from where?
Oh, well, we scanned it at the Lucasfilm archive. Everything about this will be identical to the screen used version. And one of the things that Brian requires us to do is to see, scan, touch, feel, measure, color match every single item that we do. So this will be 100% authentic to what you saw on screen. Oh, look, something else. I wonder what that is that we're revealing.
I don't know, but you have a minute to describe.
Okay, I will be fast. The Darth Vader reveal helmet. This has never been done before. Again, this was scanned at the Lucasfilm archive, perfectly color matched, and this will be available early next year. The whole thing, that's just a teaser. It'll be 3 pieces.
The whole thing.
Yeah, sorry for any confusion. It will be the entirety.
You can see them separately if you just want to buy the parts.
And then last but not least, our giveaway, the Darksaber limited edition. This just came out. We shipped it, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the lucky person to get this, it's an artist approved. And sorry if I went over time, but thank you, everyone.
Okay, so have a seat here. Thank you. We're a little short on time. We started today. I apologize. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so Regal Robot, Tom has been illness and he won't be able to make it, which he'll recover from, but he won't be able to make it, but he sends his lovely assistant, Rob. Well, not assistant, his partner, I guess. So why don't you tell us how you met Tom briefly, so we can get through your slides.
I met Tom about 25 years ago. We met on the RPF.
Yeah,
You know,
so I can. This isn't all political?
I know Tom for about 25 years. We met on the RPF, which is the Replica Prop Forum. He was doing a lot of latex work. I was doing a lot of resin work. We messaged each other, and we figured out we lived 3 towns away from each other. So ever since then, we've been kind of doing projects. So before Regal Robot, Tom and I worked on multiple projects. We've done a bunch of creature work for Lucasfilm. We've done it for commercials, for TV shows, for theme parks. This was a Super Bowl commercial about 10 years ago, and it's scary to say that was 10 years ago already, but Tom was building a Mustang at the studio. That's me on set working on Snaggletooth. This is our crew, some of our crew from our New York studio. We have a super talented bunch of people. We have 3D sculptor, we have amazing painters, hair work, a tauntaun dentist at the bottom there. So we really kind of have a really good gamut of crew. We have 2 licenses, one being Indiana Jones. We do prop replicas from that. We also do authentic themed decor. This is a new prop replica that we have coming out. We like to kind of do the oddball thing, like we don't do the regular Stormtrooper with Darth Vader. So when we saw this at the archive, we kind of knew we had to make this piece. So this is Belloc staff from Raiders. This is going to be our first signature piece in the line. We got actor Paul Freeman, who played Belloc in the film, to do the signature on the plaques for us. The second license we have is obviously Star Wars. We do themed decor, we do furniture. I'm not going to get too much into this. You can go to regalrobot.com and see all this is. What we're known for is our collectibles and our archive collection. So with the archive collection, we have the luxury of going to the Lucasfilm archives, seeing the props, scanning the props, taking color prints of the props. So like, everything is super authentic. It's like the best it's going. From that line, this is a 1-to-1 Tuscan Raider bust. We have a signature edition by the late, great Alan Fernandez. We also do a Chewbacca bust. We also do a full-size Chewbacca statue. It's over 7.5 feet tall, same size Peter was film. Now, this is one of our favorite lines. This is our Josh Butcher maquette line. And what this is they look kind of like weird versions of the characters you may know. But when the film was in their infancy and they were trying to come up with the characters, they would make kind of like these sketch sculpts. And this is what would be.
And where are those from?
From the Lucasfilm archive. Oh, really? Yeah. It's a place we have to go. So here you see even some of the shots they're actually holding them while they're sculpting the final versions of these characters that everybody knows.
So one of the
Yeah, sure.
one of the really interesting things something that's very special about what both EFX and Regal Robot do is these are the guys that get to go to the archive. They get to come inside the inner sanctum.
It's tough.
Yeah, that's what I'm They get to see, they get to touch, they get to feel. The level of accuracy that these two companies produce and deliver is parallel to none.
So we usually do these as signature editions. We've been doing that for a couple of years now. Just this past year, we took it one step further and we made something that we call the Legacy Edition. Now, what the Legacy Edition is, we went to the original sculptors and we had them actually sketch one-of-a-kind sketches of the characters that gets included with the actual statues. So there's a few of them. Now, this is the Island Legends page. Just like we get to work with them, we get to, but it's not only just getting their signature and getting their sketch, it's like we actually get insight on the characters and how things work, how they need to be, and how they need to look. So from doing this, we became friends with these guys. So that's Phil Tippett, Dennis Murin, and John Berg, and Maurice Loves. And that's at Phil's house, and for having pizza. So it's kind of wild that now we call these guys friends. And that's Phil's happiness. Now this is the fun stuff. This is what we have coming soon. So our Star Wars skulls are really popular line, the mid skull line. The latest addition to that is now the Tauntaun. We're very excited about that. So we are also doing a larger version of the Tauntaun, which will pair perfect with the Mythosaur, a very popular piece. This is the next one in our maquette line. It's the Glory Guard bust. It's big, it's heavy, it's a really killer piece. It's a direct scan of the original prop. We are teaming up again with Dave Carson. He is doing the signature edition. He's also sketching for us. So the first time he's sketching, and there's a sample of how killer it's now we have big things still to come. There's a little teaser right there. So like this one is going to keep going. We're super excited about it. Now to prop replicas. This is a one-to-one Gamorrean Guard axe. It's kind of hard to tell with the costume character holding it, but it's huge. If you look to the right, it's a regular human being holding it. It's a big piece. This is another one of those pieces we were in the archives. We weren't planning on making it, but once you have it in your hands, you're holding it, it's like, we need to make this piece. This is another big one we have coming. We are doing the Empire Strikes Back Space Slug. This is 60% of the size of the original film you published. We made a little Regal Robot 3 3/4 inch figure to show you how it used to be. We had a 3D sculptor Christian at the studio come up with this killer asteroid base to kind of release the whole piece off. While we were doing that, we were thinking about the large scale one. It's a big piece. Can we make it? Can we not make it? We're making it. So it's about 3 feet long. We're doing a museum style base. It's a direct scan of the original prop. It's a killer scan of the original prop. It's super, super detailed. This is a piece we just put out this past year. Tom is like a huge fan of the wall, but this is like a passion project. When we went to the archives, the first thing he needed to see, we went over this thing with fine people. The crew at the studio is making these things look amazing. So much like a space log, we make a bigger version. And we are. So this is based on the special edition. And we're calling this screen size. And what that means is how it would look if it was a real creature on screen. So here it is next to our one-to-one Tauntaun that we also produced. It's a big, big, big piece. This one's going to be signed by, Howie Weed. He's a guy who actually helped create the suit and actually is a performer in the suit. Our socials are at Regal Robot, all our major socials. And now I'll put it in there.
Okay, it's lunch time, and then we're going to tell the people the official answer to boosh or bow.
Oh, it's totally.
It is boosh. Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And hope you enjoy the rest of the time. Thank you.
All right, guys, there you had it. I hope it was kind of hard to see. The lights were a little bright in here, but hope you guys enjoyed all the exclusives that all these cool companies are putting out. And yeah, I'll put some pictures up. I was taking some pictures. I'll put it in the groups or on my socials. So until next time, see you guys. Actually, you know what? No. Before I say it, let's go. Let's go say hi to everybody. Let's go. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi to Max. What's up, Max?
How's it going?
From Regal Robot. Guys, we're still live. You guys did an awesome job. Great job. I know, right? So, oh, there's, yep, everybody, all the friends. All right, guys.
Hope everyone enjoyed.
Did one of you have a red backpack?
Bye, guys.